Hey Ravens fans, today we got a story that's causing quite a stir. Kyle Van Noy, the linebacker many of you admire, has finally spoken out about a shocking situation. He broke the silence and addressed a serious issue that happened during the game against the Chiefs. And that's not all. Van Noy shared his thoughts on the medical treatment he received, and it wasn't pretty. Want to know what he said and how this could affect the team? Stick around till the end to get the full scoop on this story and what it could mean for the Ravens. Go Ravens! During the season opener against the Kansas City Chiefs, Ravens linebacker Kyle Van Noy suffered a serious injury. He fractured a bone near his eye, which can be very dangerous. When such an injury occurs, it's natural to expect quick action from the opposing team's medical staff, right? But in Van Noy's case, that didn't happen. He waited a long time in the locker room before a doctor showed up, and this made him extremely frustrated. After all, an eye injury is not something you should wait to treat. Van Noy vented about the incident on his podcast, criticizing the Chiefs' medical team. He was disappointed with the lack of urgency in their response, especially for something as serious as his injury. The delay made him think about various scenarios, like what could have happened if he needed to return to the game. Even though his injury was considered moderate, the fact that it involved his vision required a faster response. But that attention didn't come in time. This only added to his frustration. This episode sparked an important discussion about the care players receive during games, especially when they get hurt. Van Noy made it clear that in such critical moments, you expect nothing less than quick and professional care. The situation raised a bigger question about how seriously medical teams handle such injuries. But this wasn't the only criticism he had, and his next point about the Chiefs' medical staff added even more weight to his dissatisfaction. Kyle Van Noy didn't hold back in his criticism of the Chiefs' medical team. He made it clear that he was very disappointed with the treatment he received, which he described as completely unacceptable. Imagine being injured and waiting for help that doesn't come quickly. That's exactly how Van Noy felt. He mentioned that he had to wait a significant amount of time for a doctor to check his injury, and the delay, especially with something as sensitive as the eye area, was what upset him the most. For him, the professionalism in the treatment was lacking. What frustrated Van Noy the most was that he needed to trust the medical team, and that trust was broken. In critical moments like this, when an injury could affect something as important as vision, he expected a quick response. Instead, he had to wait in the locker room, which made him think about how much worse it could have been if his injury were more severe. This kind of neglect, in his view, shouldn't happen, and that's what led him to make such harsh criticisms. He expected much more from the Chiefs team. In addition to expressing his dissatisfaction, Van Noy brought up a detail that added more weight to his words. He mentioned that the NFL Players Association had already rated the Chiefs' medical team negative, which made him agree even more with the criticism. This showed that his experience was not an isolated case, and that there was a history of dissatisfaction. This evaluation only reinforced Van Noy's frustration, especially in a sport where player health should always be a priority. Kyle Van Noy highlighted a crucial point by mentioning the NFL Players Association, NFLPA, evaluation. In the 2024 report, the Chiefs' medical team received an F grade, one of the worst possible scores. Van Noy, based on his personal experience, fully agreed with this evaluation. He felt that the low grade accurately reflected the treatment he received. For him, this grade was not just a critique of the Chiefs team, but a real reflection of how things were being done, or rather, not done. The NFLPA report is an important tool, as it gathers players' opinions on the medical care they receive. In the case of the Chiefs, the negative evaluation was no surprise to Van Noy, especially after his own issue. He emphasized that when players are evaluated and voice complaints, it should be taken seriously, and the report is a signal that changes are needed. The feeling of being neglected when you need help the most can affect not only the individual player, but also the overall trust in the medical. Van Noy's criticism and the NFLPA report spark a debate about the standard of medical care. And if the Chiefs' medical team was already poorly rated before Van Noy's incident, it shows an urgent need for improvements. Ensuring that players receive the best possible care should be a priority for all teams, and Van Noy's situation serves as a wake-up call for addressing these issues with the seriousness they deserve. The injury and inadequate treatment had a direct impact on Kyle Van Noy's performance. In the game against the Chiefs, he was limited to just 20 defensive snaps and managed only one tackle. For a player of his caliber, with 2 Super Bowl titles, this performance was below expectations. Van Noy's frustration wasn't only with the treatment, but also with how the injury affected his on-field performance. Imagine how tough it is for an athlete to not show their best due to a problem that could have been handled more efficiently. The situation not only affected Van Noy's current performance, but also raised questions about his recovery. With a fractured orbital bone, he needed time to heal, and this could have a lasting effect on his season. The fact that he received inadequate treatment at the time of the injury only added to his frustration, as he felt he could have recovered more quickly and return to his best level of play. Beyond impacting his current game, this experience could affect his confidence in his medical team and recovery process. If Van Noy continues to feel dissatisfied with the care, it might affect his future performance and trust in the team's ability to keep him healthy. The next step is to see how Van Noy and the Ravens handle this situation and whether any changes are made to improve player care. Kyle Van Noy's case underscores the importance of quick and effective medical care in the NFL. For players, health is the top priority, and proper treatment can make all the difference in recovery and performance on the field. Van Noy expected prompt and professional care, especially with such a sensitive injury. The delay in treatment not only left a negative impression, but also showed how a lack of care can impact a player's career. When an athlete is in the middle of a game, having effective medical care is crucial to ensure they can return to the field quickly and in good condition. Beyond the immediate impact, the quality of medical care has long-term effects on players' careers. If treatment isn't done properly, it can lead to more serious issues in the future. Van Noy painfully experienced how a lack of urgency can affect both the present and future of an athlete. His situation is a reminder that teams need to be prepared to provide the best possible care, not only to treat injuries, but also to protect the health and career of players. Van Noy's experience serves as a wake-up call for the entire NFL about the need to improve medical care standards. Player health should be a priority for all teams, and situations like Van Noy's help highlight where improvements are needed. Ultimately, ensuring players receive the best possible care is essential not only for their recovery, but also for the integrity and effectiveness of the sport. Kyle Van Noy's strong criticism has certainly left a mark on the Chiefs' medical team. When a player of his importance makes accusations about the care received and references a negative NFLPA report, it doesn't go unnoticed. The pressure is now on the Chiefs to improve their procedures and ensure such failures don't happen. The reputation of a medical team can influence not only public perception, but also players' confidence in receiving proper care. This kind of criticism can lead to significant changes. With the spotlight now on the Chiefs' medical team, it's likely there will be a review of protocols and a push for improvements. The NFL and teams should see Van Noy's situation as an opportunity to reinforce the importance of quality. If the Chiefs' medical team doesn't address these criticisms with concrete actions, the impact could be long-lasting, affecting not only the team's reputation, but also player morale and overall team efficiency. Van Noy's case illustrates how criticism and evaluations can drive changes in the sports environment. His situation isn't just about an injury, but also about how the NFL handles player health and well-being. As a result, Van Noy's story might be a catalyst for improvements in medical care and, ultimately, for a safer and more effective environment for all athletes. So, Ravens fan, what did you think of Kyle Van Noy's revelations? The situation with the Chiefs' medical care definitely highlighted the importance of quick and effective treatment. It's crucial for all of us as fans to understand how these issues can impact the team. And you, what are your thoughts on Van Noy's criticism and the changes it might bring? Share your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates and stories about our Ravens. See you next time.